That is me, leading 30,000 runners in one of the fastest marathons in the country. And I've always seen how long I can lead 3 different levels of races, culminating with an elite marathon, starting with this random 1-mile family fun run. Now you might be thinking there's no way I don't finish first, but there's actually 2,000 people signed up for this. And this is just level 1. It is gonna get a whole lot harder from here. So my goal is to lead the entire race and hopefully finish it out for the win. But you never really know who's gonna show up. So I headed to the start line to claim my spot at the front of the race and try to get some intel on how fast my competition was. How fast you trying to run?
3 minutes.
Bro, what? I'm hoping that's a lie because the start line is packed with kids and I'm forced to start a few rows back. My plan is to sprint hard to get to first once the gun goes off while making sure I don't deck any kids. That start was chaos, and I'm literally sprinting as fast as I possibly can to get to the front of the race, passing all of these kids. This first 200 meters was under 4-minute mile pace, but I'm finally able to get to the front of the race to make up for me starting a bit further back for safety. But just as I reach the front, this kid makes a surge to try and pass me, and I managed to fend him off just before I lose first place. At this point, all the kids who started out too fast have fallen off, and we have 2 real contenders left, Zion and Chris. And as we got a half mile into this race, these kids kept putting moves on me trying to pass, so I had to stay super alert. I got too fast. Over the next quarter mile, I started to open up a bit of a gap to make sure I didn't accidentally lose the lead, but both of these kids were hanging super strong, and I could not believe their resilience. As we were coming to the end of the race, Zion made a crazy move on Chris, causing Chris to break and start walking. And now, with only 100 meters left, I wanted to see Zion run a super fast time. So I was encouraging him to keep pushing, and he managed to pass me with only a few steps left, meaning I led the race for 0.99 miles. He got me at the end. 650 mile, pretty impressive. But that is gonna be the easiest of all the races we do. Let's go ahead and jump to the next one. For the second level of race, we're here at the Bayou City 5K. I meant to say 10K.
Bruh.
And we're gonna see how long we can hold the lead of what is probably gonna be a pretty quick 10K. Now, obviously that last race was kind of a joke, but this is where things start to get intense. The winner of this race ran around 32 minutes, which is 5:18 per mile. So my hope is that I'll be able to hold a couple of miles. I'm gonna go try to get to the very front of this race and we'll rip it. And hopefully I can hold. We'll see. Already, you could tell the competition for this race was much higher. So I walked over to the start line and claimed my spot at the very front of the race. And there's 2 important people to introduce here, Jamie and Hayden. But they'll be important soon because the race is about to start and I need to be focused on leading.
Ready and...
I take off sprinting the first 100 meters, making sure I'm leading the race, and Jamie decides to go with me. I'm not looking at my watch, but I can tell we got off fast. And Jamie and I are gapping the entire field already, with a good 10-meter lead on some very talented runners. And this is basically how the race went for a while. Me leading and Jamie sitting just off my shoulder. I could tell we were running pretty quick, but didn't know exactly how fast until we went through mile 1 in 5:22. At this point in the race, I felt pretty good and I knew I had at least another mile in me. We rounded the curve and got to see exactly how big of a gap we had open on the rest of the field. I thought Jamie was my only real competition this race, so I just tried to lock in by listening to hardcore rap music on my Raycon headphones. Yeah, these are pretty sick, huh? These are Raycon's bone conduction headphones, which are some of the best in the game. game. You can see as I'm leading this race that the headphones are not slipping at all. They stay put around my ears and they're locked in despite all of the jostling from running, which is great because I need the music to motivate me to hold the lead. And even if you're going on a mega long run, the Raycons will last the whole time because they have 13 hours of battery. And what makes these headphones really dope is that they use off-ear audio, which means they send vibrations through your bones to get the sound, which means that you can still be aware of the world around you, like if anyone's trying to pass me in this race. And even better, these headphones are waterproof and dustproof, which means you won't have to worry about water, sweat, rain, anything like that ruining them. And finally, the best part is that Raycon gives you this premium performance without paying an insane price. Click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/TylerSpearsBC to get 20% off during their spring sale. Thank you so much to Raycon for sponsoring the video and helping out the channel. And now let's go back to the race to see how much longer I can hold first place. So back in the race, Jamie and I are still battling it out, but he hasn't passed me yet. I can tell the pace has kind of slowed, so in the back of my mind, I think I might be able to hold the lead the entire race. We come through mile 2 in a 5:36, so sure enough, we have slowed down a lot. But honestly, I couldn't care less about the time and the pace. I only care about being in first place. And I'm doing just enough to keep Jamie right behind me. Anytime he gets close, I pick it up just a little bit. But I actually should have been concerned about the pace because as we slow down, it allows someone to get back into the race. Hayden. Hayden is coming back in a big way, and that's because we just ran a 5:48 mile 3, which is a lot slower than when we started out. And I still have no clue that Hayden is closing us down. I think that the fight is between me and Jamie still. But in about 200 meters, Hayden has completely closed the gap on us, and this whole challenge is about to get a lot harder. This is about the time I first realized Hayden had caught up, and I knew I needed to go with Hayden now and drop Jamie. The only problem was that Hayden was coming up with a lot of speed, and pretty quickly he began challenging my lead. And before I even knew it, Hayden threw down a surge I could not hang on to, ending my first place lead at 3.15 miles. Well, we lasted just over 5K, which is pretty good, but now we're gonna go on to the final race, the Elite Marathon, and this one is gonna be fast. Behind me is the start of the Austin Marathon, the final boss of this entire video. There are over 30,000 people signed up for this race, and my goal is to be #1 for as long as possible. The winner last year ran a 2:18 marathon, which is 5:18 a mile, and there's one massive problem. In this marathon, there is an elite wave and an A wave. I'm in the A wave, which means I start about 20 meters behind the elites, which means I'm gonna have to sprint hard to pass all the elites right at the beginning of the race. So I got as close to the elites as possible, as literally thousands of people filled in behind me. Meanwhile, the elites started to show up while I was roped out of their exclusive zone. Some of them looked fast, and I was really starting to doubt if I could even catch them at the beginning of the race. But then all the elites started to line up, and it was almost go time. Once the gun went off, I would need to close about 20 meters on some of the fastest marathoners in the country.
Runners, to your mark! Hey, stay! There we go, guys and gals.
I sprinted faster than I've ever sprinted in my life, and I was passing tons of elites. All of a sudden, within 100 meters of this race, I was in the top 10 of the field. But the goal wasn't top 10, it was first. And there was one main guy holding me back, Joey. Joey is a 2:09. That is right, 2:09 marathoner, and he was pushing the pace hard. I'm already feeling pretty winded from having to sprint to get to the front. But as I move into second place, I know I still need to pass Joey. I give one last surge to fully catch up to him, and all of a sudden, it is me and a 2:09 marathoner leading one of the biggest marathons in the entire country. But now that I'm officially in the lead, it becomes how long can I hold this lead? Every single person around me is about 10 times more fit than me, and thanks to my initial surge to get to the front, I've been running about 4:30 mile pace so far. So my goal is just to stick with Joey as long as I can. And as the camera angle changes right here, you can see exactly how much of a gap Joey and I have put on the rest of the elite field. But I'm not gonna lie guys, at this point, I'm feeling pretty winded. This is easily the fastest I've ran in over a year, and it is unbelievable that these athletes are just starting a marathon and running this fast. As Joey and I continue to gap the elite field by even more, I'm thinking I've been running for at least 5 minutes by now, but it hasn't even been 2. I know that my time is coming quickly now, but I take a moment to enjoy the fact that I'm currently leading a race of over 30,000 people, even if it's just for a super brief period. We're approaching the half-mile mark, and I can feel my body start to really wear down fast. I'm trying to hold on to Joey's pace with literally everything I have in me, but I know that I'm not even close to his level of fitness. With me starting to fall off, I move over to the side to let everyone through and cool off, having led an elite marathon for 0.54 miles. That was borderline impossible. I'm truly gassed now though.